here, back it up a little bit so maybe the front row can see a little bit. Sorry. That's okay, you'll be able to see it later. Try not to block everybody else though, Jake. He's going to tell you in a second. Okay, Mr. Studebaker, when you feel that the class is listening and attentive, you may start.
My name is Clem Studebaker, and me and my brothers Henry and John were born in Pennsylvania. My other brothers Peter and Jacob were born in Ohio. My family came here because we needed more money to be more prosperous. Me and my brother Henry came here first working at a blacksmith shop for 50 cents a day. But eventually we weren't getting enough money, so I started a teaching job. My whole family came here in 1850. We were here until our deaths. The last brother, John, died in 1917. I think our family brought employment and jobs to the city of South Bend, and we also, our factory right over here also helped the city be more valuable. We first started off making a wagon, and eventually we made it all the way up to cars. And that's why I think the city of South Bend honors us today with the Studebaker Museum and the Studebaker Club. I think me and my brothers were good leaders because we had to guide our workers and believed in giving more than we promised. Because our slogan at the blacksmith shop was always give more than promise. Eventually, from just making wagons starting in 1852, our official business started in 1852. Eventually, the factory got bigger and bigger, and at one time it was the biggest car-making facility in the country. Once we got up to making electric Studebakers in 1902. There's a picture of one over here, and there's a picture of one with his coin, and also there's a picture of one back here. This Studebaker has Thomas Edison in a 1902 electric. Eventually, after electrics, we kept on making more cars and cars. And eventually we made a Studebaker Golden Hawk in 1958. I think me and my brothers would be really proud of it, that our factory and workers kept on going. This is a picture of me and my brothers. I'm right over here. This is a picture, this is a medallion you get if you work at the factory for 5 years. And the Studebaker business officially started in 1852 and officially died out in 1963.
Now, okay, Clem, you're going to take some questions. Make sure you're seated and maybe bring out some questions.
Michael, what kind of cars did you make? Well, we first started out with wagons and eventually made Silver Hawks, Golden Hawks, and electric cars like that.
Anybody else with a question for Clem? I'm going to make you stand up here for 1 second more. they talk about families that really made South Bend into what it was and to really build our community. And they talk about the Olivers. The Olivers were huge. They started a great business, employed lots of people. Another family that really helped out was the Studebakers. They built and they came along here. I don't think they originally wanted to stop here. They stopped here because, I don't know if their wagon broke down or something, or they saw there was a need for wagons to help with the wheels, and they stopped here and they started a shop making wheels for the wagons, and eventually they made just wagons and people would buy them and go, and eventually they ended up building electric cars, and like you said, the Silverhawks. I didn't know what some of the other names, the Golden Hawks. Interesting. And they employed hundreds of thousands of South Bend people to work at the factories to build these wagons and cars, and people were very grateful to the Studebakers because guess what? If you didn't have a job, you might not be eating that night. It was tough. Some of you we get really spoiled. They were like, yeah, it doesn't matter who, and you had to have a job, and he supplied lots of jobs for people. So the Studebaker family was very important to the history of South Bend. Do you have a question, Mila?
Yes, but do they like to bake? Do to bake? Brother. Nice, that's a joke.
That is it. But you know what? That's a joke. That now they have a bagel shop near Notre Dame that's called, is it still open?
Yeah.
It is? It's called Studebagels. And it's kind of after the Studebaker name, Studebagel.
I saw one that's called
It's called Studebagels.
Einstein.
And
I just like Einstein, brother.
they make bagels, and I've never actually been in there, but if somebody can, if they have Studebaker stuff, I have no idea. What did you come up with, Ezra?
I forgot a fun fact. Their last name was misspelled in 1798, but their ancestors kept it that way. It was really spelled Studebeker, but it was misspelled to Studebeker. Because they came from, I can't remember where, but they weren't originally here. So when they came to the airport, that's how it most likely sounded.
And they probably didn't come on a plane, but hey, they probably came on a ship, and when they got off the ship, people would be there, okay, what's your family name? And he was like, and whoever came over was like, it's Studebaker. And they're like, Studebaker, okay. And they spelled it Becker instead of Baker, and that's what their name was. They were saddled with that name. And a lot of times when people came over from other countries, they were just like, all right, we're Studebakers now. And eventually they exchanged it to Studebaker. And interesting. All right.